Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on Up with KREM. I'm Christian Garza. Tim has the morning off. We also want to welcome you if you're streaming us on KREM 2+. All right, let's bring in meteorologist Thomas Patrick because, Thomas, weather has been a big thing over the weekend, and we had a huge change with rain coming down and basically washing out all the snow that we had here in the area. So we are in a weather impact alert for flooding, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. A good morning to you, Christian, and everybody waking up with us this morning. There will still be some minor flooding concerns, even though we're getting a small chance to dry out through these morning hours. But just make sure to mind any ponding of water that is on roadways, especially if there are closed roads, of which there are for the inland Northwest. Make sure to respect those closures. Don't try to travel around those because these flooded roads that are closed for a reason, and it's because of the flooding. The flood warnings in the green shades here, the more severe flooding across the inland Northwest, mainly for Lincoln and Whitman counties. Spokane County under a flood advisory, as we do have some minor flooding concerns. But dry for the moment, but more rain on the way later on today, so the flooding concerns will still be with us through at least tonight and tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Thomas. And here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning. Right here up on your screen is I-90 and US 2. As you can see, there's more action on the roadways here. Roadways do look clear and dry for the most part. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. New this morning, Genesee schools and the Troy School District are closed today. Freeman, Libby Public Schools and Riverside School District are on a 2-hour delay. We will continue to keep you updated on all school delays and closing here on Up with KREM. Like we mentioned earlier, flooding has been a major concern over the weekend and is causing several road closures around eastern Washington. At last checked in Spokane County, the following roads are closed. Jensen Road from State Route 904 to Murphy Road, Cheney Plaza Road from Wells Road to State Route 195, North Pine Creek Road, and the Griffith intersection. The Washington Department of Transportation is also reporting closures this morning, including State Route 23 near Lamont and Steptoe, State Route 272 at milepost 11 between Colfax and the Palouse, State Route 21 north of Wilbur, State Route 25 in both directions, north of Davenport near Harker Canyon Road, State Route 27 south of Fairfield near Sanders Road, and between Oaksdale to Hume Road. Now, for a full list of up-to-date road closures, you could just check on our website, krem.com.
Do not drive through standing water over the roadway. You never know just how deep it is, and you never want to get into a situation that you're going to get your car stuck.
Just when heading to work. Now come take a look at your screen. Due to the melting snow, unpaved back roads are taking a serious hit like this one in Cheney. WashDOT says water and debris are on roadways across eastern Washington. And the National Weather Service says these are some of the places to watch out for, including Hangman Creek in Spokane, Paradise Creek in Moscow, the Palouse River in Potlatch, and South Fork Palouse River in Pullman. If you haven't already, Spokane city officials are encouraging people to clear storm drains. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, our flooding coverage continues. At 5:30, we'll look at why even a little bit of water can be dangerous to drivers. Continuing coverage this morning, a town hall in Coeur d'Alene erupted in chaos over the weekend. At one point, a woman was forcibly escorted out.
There's an opportunity for you to stand up, but please get up or be escorted out.
The Kootenai County Republican Central Committee hosted the event at Coeur d'Alene High School. At one point, the woman, who Coeur d'Alene police have identified as Teresa Snyder-Borenpolk, goes back and forth with Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris about her needing to leave. The situation escalated when security guards grabbed the woman to forcibly escort her out. According to our reporting partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press, the woman bit one of the security guards. The Idaho Democratic Party released a statement about the incident, saying in part, quote, "It is a very sad day when a woman who voices dissent is physically dragged out of a public venue by unidentified men while the event moderator belittles and taunts her. Idaho deserves better." Coeur d'Alene police told KREM 2 she was initially cited for battery, but that's now under review. This is a developing story, so we'll update you when we learn more. Turning to national news this morning, the clock is ticking for some federal employees this weekend after Elon Musk posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, saying a mass email went out to millions of federal workers. Musk says the email instructs them to reply with 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week. Workers have until midnight tonight to respond. Musk says a failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. This escalation comes hours after President Trump posted on Truth Social saying he'd, quote, like to see Elon get more aggressive, end quote, in his efforts to shrink the federal workforce.
The fraudsters, liars, cheaters, globalists, and deep state bureaucrats are being sent packing.
But not every agency is cooperating with Elon Musk's new demand. Freshly sworn-in FBI Director Kash Patel, in a statement obtained by CBS News, said the Bureau will conduct reviews, adding when and if further information is required, we will coordinate the responses. The Departments of State, Homeland Security, and Defense have all told their employees not to comply. Closer to home, Washington State is seeing a rise in fired government workers applying for unemployment benefits. For the year so far, 650 federal employees have filed unemployment claims. That's compared to 479 employees this time last year. Nearly half of the claims for this year have come since President Trump took office on January 20th. Washington State is home to about 76,000 federal employees right now. Meanwhile, plans were announced to cut up to 8% of the civilian workforce from the Department of Defense. It also calls for terminating up to 5,000 probationary workers starting next week and instituting a hiring freeze. Leaders are concerned about what the cuts could do to Washington, especially possible cuts to Fairchild Air Force Base, Joint Base Lewis McChord, and Naval Base Kitsap. There are nearly 110,000 DoD personnel in the state, including more than 31,000 civilian employees. According to the Department of Defense, in 2022, Washington State received more than $14 billion in defense spending. U.S. Congressman Adam Smith says it will impact Washington, but Washington Representative Jim Walsh says he's not concerned with the plans, and the goal is to ensure taxpayer money is used in a responsible way.
We would target a fair number of employees, and who knows what programs they're going to go after, but absolutely, it would have a huge impact on our state.
I mean, these are reforms, and real reform can be painful initially.
For thoughts on the topic, Joint Base Lewis McChord said it will fully execute and implement all directives from President Trump's executive order and would share updates when available. This morning, we're making calls to Fairchild to get their reaction. Within the last 48 hours, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown signed onto an amicus brief with other mayors arguing cuts to funding to specific scientific and medical research institutions are drastic, unlawful, and threaten local economies. To be clear, an amicus brief is not a lawsuit. Rather, its purpose is to send additional information or arguments to a court to consider in a specific case. In this instance, a federal judge in Massachusetts put the funding cuts on hold while the case goes through litigation. So the court may take the mayor's amicus brief into consideration, or they may not.
Here is near Yokes on Sunset Highway, and there's a bit of a puddle in between the road there. Now, when I saw this live picture, I was like, hey, it's doing its job. We have a lot of those spots that are meant to catch all that excess water so that way it doesn't end up on the roadway in the first place. But the scene quite isn't as clear-cut like that. everywhere for the inland Northwest. There are going to be some flooding concerns. There are plenty of locations, especially highways, that have been closed off as a result of the flooding and still ongoing as of this morning. So do make sure to respect any road closures because flooding can be particularly dangerous for drivers that are ignoring those caution signs out there. So ongoing flooding today and still more rain yet on the way. After we got about 3/4 of an inch of rain yesterday, plus all the snow, at which one point it was 9 inches of snow depth, that has all melted away, and that added all that extra water into basically the ground and in some cases the road. But at least our temperatures will remain mild for the day. It's still 40 degrees in Liberty Lake, and we should experience high temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50 this afternoon before our next bout of rain arrives this evening.